Yes, short-term memory is the plan for this video. Let's take a look at short-term memory and improve it. That's the task I've set for myself. In an energetic way. Yes. Ring the bell. Subscribe to the channel, then you'll have more content. Let's see. Then let's invite everyone who enjoys watching this, or where it is necessary. First, let's generally remove the dark energies. I will first build it up from the purely physical perspective by looking at the brain. The short-term memory, especially here in the frontal cortex, there. It takes place and there is an exchange with other brain areas, and in the end, it is stored throughout the entire brain when it needs to go into long-term memory, but supposedly at the front is where the main storage program is. I will take a look at that. Then look at this change rhythm and also the psychological aspects. To round it off at the end so that the brain functions well again. That is the task. Okay. Let's come to the front. Let's make one out of all the participants. Let's clear this area at the front. For these two participants, cerebral cortex, what I do is push out the energies that don't belong there. And that is for all those who will ever watch this video. Could actually the entire cerebral cortex, our outer area. We'll do that again in a moment. The front wheel is used for short-term history, but over a long time it has to be stored somewhere again. It was interesting, as I briefly informed myself, there is only ultra-short time memory, a few seconds that we remember things. In a few seconds. Then the short-term memory, 30 seconds. But in daily life, we also have a short-term memory that lasts a bit longer. Where did I put the key? Where is it? Do I need to turn off the light? Or any things we plan to do that aren't important in the long run and don't go into long-term memory. So there are different levels of importance. So we clear that out. That already feels better. A few energetic bombs. Pure. I got the idea for this video from a child. And she said, "Oh, my short-term memory isn't good." Then I thought I can do this for the general public as well. We take out all the information that's sitting in there. Now we work on the entire head area. So the outer cerebral cortex and as in real life, everything works through practice. If I don't remember anything anymore, meaning I have such an impressive life where everything is already pre-structured, then of course I lose the ability to use the areas well. So to stay flexible, that would be the right expression. There are these nice children's games, I just remembered what it's called, memory. That means laying out cards, and you have to remember which card is where. Play with your children or grandchildren or whoever. That certainly helps to keep the memory a bit active. I always played that with my grandma. And she had an amazingly good memory. I have the impression she also let us win sometimes. Grandma, then you did things. Yes, that's a bit of fun keeping. But that's how it is. But she had a good memory. That already feels freer. Then let's connect to the cortex, or to another part of the brain. I hope I've stored that correctly now, so that an exchange can take place there. So it is temporarily stored and then stored back again. Then let's clear these paths. There are also people who can't forget anything. It's also a blessing to be able to forget, if you will, when you retain everything. But whether anything is actually forgotten, I would question that now. We can't use it in real life, but there are people who see something once and remember it forever. And they can also recall it forever. I believe that is the crucial point. So, let's clear the connection there again. Good. That feels quite good so far. The return exchange, the way back again to the cerebral cortex. Let's clear that again as well. And if you repeat that multiple times, then it moves from short-term memory to long-term memory. Emotions are very helpful. Emotions support the storage of information because they gain importance with emotions. So it has to be important somewhere for us to want to store this information. There is a reason for that. So wrapping everything with information is certainly correct. Or to build a story from it when one has to learn something abstract. But here it's mainly about short-term memory. Then let's clear the synapses again. So the nerve cells a bit more. And the synapses are a part of where the information is transmitted. Let's take a look at the synapses at the front. So from all nerve cells, 1, 5. Then the dendrites, those are the little arms that connect on the other side, where the synapses dock from the other cell. Chemical electrical impulses. Electrical is converted into chemistry and then back into electricity. So it's like a thunderstorm in the head. That can also be measured. So supposedly, some people can also read minds through the storm. Interpret. There are already chips that want to be able to do this in the future. How they want to do that is another question. So thoughts become visible to a machine. So I'm back at the cell, at the nerves, at the nerve cell. one can naturally also support memory through appropriate measures. That is not the purpose of this video here. I want to work energetically, but for example, training, as I said, for instance, getting enough sleep. And the learning content of the day is primarily transferred to long-term memory at night. So, sufficient healthy sleep ensures that we can also remember things. Remember better. Then, when there are no disturbances, things are processed to completion. The nerves feel good now, I think. So, then we have it physically, I believe we have it. Then let's look at poor short-term memory. Concrete deletion of the core of the maternal line in the one-dimensional timeline deletion. False deletion with the ISR key is the same. Request for deletion camera, that is what? Long times for boys, deletions, false deletions, it's about deletion attempts. From past lives in all dimensions sealed as time deletion. Here it is already the same with the average karma. From this life in all. And for a while, the deletion of deleting the school the same as what the memory is disrupted by stress stories. So when one is very much under pressure, then it's more about handling things quickly than remembering anything. So stress is the enemy. It takes inner calmness, serenity to remember things better. In stress, I would say the ultra short-term memory still works well, but everything else is impaired. Good. What else do we have? Wanting to remember different things at the same time. So, multitasking. In remembering, I'll take that out again and just focus on one specific thing and say, oh, that's it. And now I'll remember it in some form. Or it remembers itself. The brain does it automatically. We have short-term memory. Unconsciously, always, I already read it earlier, if we don't have a problem with it. Then we don't stumble over it. If it's a problem, then we notice that we need it. The short-term memory, it's like back pain. If we don't have it, then we're not interested in our back. It's the same with the brain. If we actually need it and it's not readily available, then we notice it. Good. So, what do we have? So negative experiences, that was the case for everyone. She was put under so much stress by the teacher back then that she fainted. Negative experiences, no? That we sometimes couldn't remember. I'm now removing that from the system of all involved. Now out. And the certainty that the memory, the short-term memory, the ultra short-term memory, and ultimately also the long-term memory can function without problems. I'm implementing that. And all the shocks associated with it, I'm removing now. And inner peace. I'm implementing this constant reminder of having completely failed once. I'm removing that now. And to erase this event, it was a unique event where we were very stressed. And under stress, the memory is impaired. That's how it is. So, school, questioning, blackboard right now. And then you don't find the memory immediately. So, what else do we have? Yes, another tip perhaps, good nutrition. I randomly read about omega-3. It's also part of it. So fish oils are what we consume a bit too little of in the end. That also helps to improve memory. So, that's all that still missing. Once again, the same. I think I can't, I'll take that out again. And to regain confidence, practice regularly. To use the brain, I'm playing that now. It requires a certain joy to remember and to say, yes, oh yes, that's how it is. And I ask the universe to give me the right thought at the right time so that I can remember again to what was necessary or is necessary. I'll play that for everyone now. Sometimes I get, or so I feel when I go shopping somewhere. Then I also have to think of something like locking the door, no matter small things, without having specifically thought about it. It just comes to mind. So we are also in such a protective corridor, I would say, meaning we are supported, and something within us already reminds us of it. Good. I think we'll leave it at that. Yes, wonderful. We did this short-term memory exercise. Beautified the short-term memory a bit. A good short-term memory is, of course, a prerequisite for long-term memory. Those who no longer have a good short-term memory will also not be able to develop a good long-term memory. In old age, people can sometimes only remember stories from a long time ago, but that is excellent. And the short-term things are no longer there because the bridge to long-term memory is missing. So practicing and training that makes perfect sense. Take care, tune in again. Until then, your fitness assessment